Welcome to Ohio Rail Trail Routes and Roads.
Alright, so it's day 7 and just got our stuff picked up. We had a rainstorm come through this morning for about 15 minutes, just to make everything a little more challenging, a little more damp. So it's our last night of camping. So we got one night of hotel tonight, and so today's a shorter ride, about 42 miles, 37 miles, something like that. We were informed last night that the festival was not a music festival, it was a noise festival, which really cleared things up. Made you stop listening for the music and appreciating the noise, I guess. So it was interesting. So, but they didn't go too late, and they weren't super loud, so it wasn't a big deal. But it was nice. So we did have a good conversation with the camp owner. Good dude. Really super nice place to stay. There are actual camp spots down the hill a little farther. We didn't realize that until after we were set up, so we didn't bother to move. But it's a nice place. I would definitely stay here again. So we're gonna go make some breakfast before we move on. And this morning we're gonna be at our high point today in the trip, and we've got significant amount of climbing again today. So here we go. It's just after 9:30. Getting out of the campground. We ate some breakfast this morning. Some oatmeal with peanut butter. Thanks, Nick, for the suggestion of adding the peanut butter to the oatmeal. That was a bonus. So, and a lot of the musicians / performers from last night were up hanging out, and got to talk to some of them. Pretty interesting and cool people. So they were as interested in what we were doing as what we were with them. So kind of one of those cool things about these types of trips is every once in a while you run into people at the campgrounds or hotel or whatever. You transport around 40 pounds of stuff on a bicycle. People tend to ask questions, so it's all good. They were going to do some more performing, I think maybe today, so if the rain stays away. But here we go. Just finished the first climb in the morning. Not surprising, the view is outstanding. A little hazy this morning. It's going to be hot, humid. Most of our climbing's in the morning, so hopefully the heat and humidity won't be a problem today. It's not going to get real hot, but it's definitely hotter than, a little warmer than what it's been, and certainly more humid with all the rain that we've had today, or over the last day. So no surprise, but here we go. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at this. Watch pothole. Quite the treat at the end of the long downhill. Yeah, absolutely. All right, here we go. Back up the hill. It's mile 4.5 for the day. About 450 feet of climbing. So it's been up or down so far all day. I think that's kind of the theme for the day today. No real flats. So that hill we just went up at mile 5, top of it's mile 5. It was about 0.9 miles long. We're not quite there, almost. Easy parts ahead. Was a 6 to 7% average. So that was a lot of work, but it wasn't a big one for the day. So looks like we got some storm clouds over there, but I think they're gonna pass us. Hopefully, I think they're gonna miss us. I think we're farther south. So beautiful view though. No. Yep. Yeah, 35 mile an hour on a downhill, and you can hear the gravel clicking beneath your wheels. Doesn't build a lot of confidence. Alright, to make the math easy on this hill climb, I'm at mile 9 and I am now at 800 feet of ascent. Most everything behind me wasn't all that big, so it wasn't a big deal, but this is supposed to be like 4 miles of climbing, which again, another new feat. Pretty sure I haven't climbed that far all in once anyway, so we'll see what happens. Mile 9.4, 909 feet ascent, and we're on to the gravel road. a very, very steep gravel road in Buchanan State Forest. Oh boy. Whew. That was the first walk part of the trip. Just couldn't get up there riding. It was a little too loose. Just didn't quite have it left on my legs, so I'm not sure any amount of training would have helped me at this point in the week. But plenty of time for redemption. And it looks like we got some puddles. Stay on the rocky side of that. Get the mud off the tires if possible. Yeah, it's not too bad. Nice little flat section. Get my breath back. Mile 10.2, 1,100 feet of climbing. This is a lot of work. Very bumpy, very technical, pretty sandy. Going slow enough that the bugs are all around you. They're not biting, they're just annoying as all get out. So, uh-oh. Looks like another super steep wet spot, which may require some hike-a-bike. Yeah, this is hike-a-bike coming up. Yep. No crashing today. Haven't crashed yet. Not planning on it. We're at mile 10.7 and I have almost 1,400 feet of ascent. Hearts Wahoo says considerably more than that, so he has the route downloaded, so we assume his is right, but I don't know. You know, we're probably running different versions too of the firmware or whatever to. One's probably more accurate than the other, I guess. But I can tell you that almost all of this has been hike-a-bike, which I do not enjoy. Not a lot of fun. This is not why I bicycle. And this is the last day of our pants ride anyways, and we're going to obviously do one more day to Cumberland, which I'll include in this video. But so a little disappointed I didn't get to ride the whole thing, but there's just no way to ride this. Got a pretty big squeak. Could use probably some lube. All right. Real road. Whew. Okay, we were about 11.3 and we were at the top of the hill. Most of the rest of the day is downhill with some much smaller, much more manageable climbs. Which, imagine that. Look at that, there's another climb. So, state game lands, public hunting, game commission, please don't shoot me. So we're at 11.6. It's supposed to be a place to eat some food about 15, so hopefully we can get there sooner than later. So much for a lot of downhill. Rest of the ride, I feel like this has been still a lot of uphill. The last, I don't know, half mile, going pretty slow, worn out, bike's creaking and squeaking. Yeah, I don't have a lot of focus. Focusing's been real difficult, you know what I mean? Keep it in the middle kind of thing. Maybe last night's rest wasn't as good as we thought it was.
I think I'm just drained from walking up the hill for
Yeah. Last part, the stone got real slaggy, and it was just really difficult, and it was real pitched in the middle. You kind of chose your line based on which side you'd rather fall off on. Never done 40 miles an hour on a bicycle before. That was interesting. It's a big guessing game. Well, how many things have we not been able to get around?
Yeah, I mean, unless there's a giant gaping hole in the road.
Right.
Not really sure what the alternative is.
Yeah, I'm not sure there is one. At this point, we've come down a lot of steep hills pretty fast.
Yep.
So we believe this sign is just a suggestion. Hopefully, it was when they had a lot of rain. We're pretty far south for that, for when the rain that we knew was there. I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. So our food place that was supposed to be at mile 17 is next to that burnout Days Inn. So I assume it had shut down. Could also not find it on the map again. But it's supposed to be a pizza place at mile 27 or mile 22. That's 5 miles away. Hope that pizza place is attached to a gas station, has Gatorades and maybe a Snickers bar, and a little bit of energy. Starting to run out. Those are the police. Good to know there's always a police officer around when you need one. This has definitely been the worst road we've been on, and today has definitely been the least fun day. Just a lot of work. The hike-a-bike kind of took it out of us early. This is crazy. This is 12% grade down to a road. Might need some new brake pads when this shenanigans are over. Oh, are you all right? You all right? He just dumped the bike. Not being able to get stopped coming down that hill. You win, Pants Route. You have broken my spirit. Earlier in the week, I could have ridden this. I'm just out of gas. I believe we're on Bethel Church Road. It's about mile 28 and a half, maybe 29, maybe 29 and a half. Been doing a lot of hike-a-bike, so it doesn't always pick up the movement on the GPS. We actually get to avoid a climb. Unless there's one right around the corner. Hey, look at that. There's one right around the corner. Cedar Mill Road. You are not my friend. Two miles to Maryland. Good. So we should be able to find services before then, I would think. Yep. That was the smallest welcome to our state sign I've ever seen. Very surprised. But okay, whatever. Whew. We got a Food Lion. We got a gas station. We got a Family Dollar. Anything we could ever want. Alright, after a couple of big Gatorades and Reese Cups, we're on our way to the Hancock Hotel, is what we've decided, because the place to eat dinner is directly across the street versus the Super 8, which is half a mile away from the place we're going to eat dinner. So it's all good. Alright, let's see what happens. So we're ending our day at the Super 8 Hotel here in Hancock. That was not a great ride. It was several miles of hike-a-bike early. You know, probably 2, maybe 3 miles, and it just absolutely destroyed our legs, and we just didn't have it was tough. So probably the worst day of riding we've had that we can remember in quite some time. Roads were still pretty decent. That one road was bad though. That road that we had to hike a bike up, even coming back down the other side, was not good. It was just, yeah, a lot of loose gravel and sand base kind of stuff, and just so you couldn't get up it hardly. It was super hard to get up, super hard to get stopped coming down. It was 13-14% grade down, so with all the weight on the bike, didn't make for a good day. So, you know, I like to promote our ride, and I like to promote, you know, riding and things of that nature, but this day was by far the worst that we've had. And you know, the other days have been absolutely super. So I wouldn't deter from doing the route. There's no services from the campground that we stayed at to here. So, you know, 37 miles and about 3,700 feet of climbing. You know, so pack some food, pack some water, based on, you know, what the weather was. I mean, I went through 3 bottles of water today. And there just wasn't any place to stop until we got into Hancock. So anyways, we're gonna get rested up tonight, and then tomorrow we're gonna ride. So technically we're done with the pants route, so that's a win. And then tomorrow we're gonna ride from Hancock to Cumberland on the towpath, where we will end our weekly ride. So about another 60 miles tomorrow. But we've ridden it before. If it rains tomorrow, it could be a slog. We'll see what happens. So, but otherwise, you know, it's got the potential to be really nice as well.